Moving on for now, the Islamabad High Court has suspended the sentence of the former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif for 8 weeks in the Al Azizia case. The three-time Prime Minister of the country has been directed to contact the Punjab government if he wants to extend that 8-week-long bail. As per the judgment, the bail would be considered cancelled if Nawaz Sharif does not contact the Punjab government authorities after 8 weeks. The court has ordered 2 surety bonds worth 2 million rupees each to be paid. Pakistan's Accountability Bureau has also put conditions on the bail. Nawaz Sharif will be released on bail but will not be allowed to travel abroad. The prosecutors have clarified that they will oppose Nawaz Sharif's bail if he travels outside the country. The National Accountability Bureau is probing the Sharif family in the Chaudhry Sugar Mills case on December 24, 2018. Remember, an accountability court had sentenced Nawaz Sharif to 7 years in prison in the Al Azizia Steel Mills corruption case and had acquitted him in the flagship case. The former Pakistan Prime Minister was granted a 2-day bail by the Islamabad High Court on Saturday. This as Sharif's health had worsened over the last few weeks and was put on oxygen support as well. Sharif was already in the hospital on Saturday after a court in Lahore ordered his release on bail in a separate money laundering case to seek medical treatment. Sharif had been rushed to a Lahore hospital from prison on Monday after his platelet count had dropped to dangerously low levels. And joining us on the broadcast is our Pakistan Bureau Chief Anas Malik. Nawaz Sharif has been granted that 8-week-long bail with conditions. He cannot travel outside the country. Anas, has that been a demand that, of course, has been made by the family members? But at the same time, what does the government have to say? Because there was an assurance that had come in earlier from the authorities that Nawaz Sharif would be allowed to travel outside and that the Prime Minister himself would be pushing for that.
Well, the government did not have to say much on that, primarily because it was between the National Accountability Bureau and the team of Nawaz Sharif's lawyer. Nawaz Sharif's lawyer, Khwaja Haris, had been pushing and pressing for a bail on medical grounds, but the NAB prosecution team, they were of the view that Nawaz Sharif should not be given bail, and in fact, if he is to be given bail, it should be conditional. It should not be an all-out bail. Justice Amir Farooq, one of the two judges of the two-member bench, he asked the National Accountability Bureau team that what should be the time frame, and then the NAB team was quick to clarify that the time frame should be well within as it has been defined by the Supreme Court as well. Remember, the Supreme Court has set a bar to finish these the Al Azizia cases within 6 months. That is currently ongoing. Therefore, in view of that, about 8 months bail has been granted to Nawaz Sharif. When the question of him being Nawaz Sharif being taken abroad for treatment was raised, Khwaja Haris, the lawyer of Nawaz Sharif, was quick to exclaim and rather clarify that this is not a matter of taking him abroad. It is a matter of Nawaz Sharif's health, and the basic is that he should be given bail so that he can have a treatment of his own choice at any hospital of his own choice within Pakistan. That is why this marathon hearing that went on for about 3.5 hours in the Islamabad High Court, it was heard by a divisional bench, a 2-member divisional bench of the Islamabad High Court. Now, this is the same bench that is hearing the main appeal in Al Azizia case. The main appeal by National Accountability Bureau says that it asks for the extension of verdict, whereas the same appeal that has been clubbed, Nawaz Sharif has appealed that the verdict should be squashed. So, by and large, Nawaz Sharif gets another 8 weeks. After the verdict that came in, it was announced by Justice Amir Farooq, and I was in the court. He made it very clear that this is only against the surety bonds of 2 million each worth Pakistani rupees. It has to be submitted at the earliest. It is a bail on medical grounds. It is not an all-out bail. The verdict would be considered, the sentence would be rather considered suspended for another 2 months or 8 weeks until this is done. And if Nawaz Sharif thinks that he has not fully recovered in these 8 weeks, then he has to approach the executive, rather that would be the Chief Minister of Punjab in this case, and get his bail extended. So by and large, there is some relief for Nawaz Sharif, but as he struggles with his life in a life-threatening situation, as the court was apprised by his doctors and the government team as well. Yes, Molly.
Right, so all of that took place inside the courtroom today. That, of course, is a story that's been dominating headlines for the last few days now. We're going to leave it there for the moment. Anas, thanks very much for that quick roundup of the latest coming in. Now, Pakistan's Azadi March has reached Multan in the Punjab region 2 days before its destination in Islamabad. Led by fierce Imran critic Fazlur Rahman, the march has been gaining momentum ever since it started in Karachi. Pakistan's opposition parties have also supported the march, which calls for Prime Minister Imran Khan's resignation. That's the latest as far as the progression of the march is concerned. Going back across now to Anas Malik, who's been tracking the very latest. What is the mood within the opposition quarters now, given Nawaz's health situation and the Pakistani Azadi March, and the latest that you've been able to get in terms of reactions?
Well, the Azadi March is approaching in, and trouble mounts for the Imran Khan government because there are protesters in greater numbers. The number is varies as claimed by the police authorities in Multan. It varies somewhere between 40,000 to 50,000, whereas the Jamiat-e-Ulama Islam Fazlur Rahman group, the JUIF, which are the organizers of this march, they say that they have about 2 million plus people. Now, what we understand is that is a fairly exaggerated claim, and rightly so. They would want to charge their supporters, but the police, special branch, which is tasked to basically overlook such operations, the special branch Multan says that the protesters are between 40,000 to 50,000 as it entered from the province of Sindh into the territorial jurisdiction of the province of Punjab later last night. As we speak, it is currently en route from Multan towards Lahore. It was somewhere around Khanewal when we last checked with our sources on ground. It is scheduled to go to Lahore, to get to Lahore today, spend the night there, and then leave from Lahore tomorrow and get near Rawalpindi for tomorrow night. Now, remember, this is a 7-hour journey, what we are talking about from Multan to Lahore. Ideal scenario, it takes at least 7 hours to get from Multan to Lahore. But the number of protesters is so greater that it is taking way beyond, and at least 12 to 14 hours is being speculated. The trouble bounds for Imran Khan because they, on one end, they are saying that they are committed to let the democratic norm being followed. On the other hand, we're seeing that containers being placed in, and life for the residents of Islamabad is being made difficult because given the containers being placed, there is lack of movement that takes place. There's a lot of hindrances as well for the people of Islamabad. Coming back, the opposition parties, they are of the opinion, they are all charged up. They're looking forward to welcome him. The Pakistan People's Party and the Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz, the PMLN, they have jointly set up a welcome camp in Lahore, and they say that their workers will be joining in this march as well as soon as it reaches Lahore later tonight. Yes, Molly.
All right, we're going to leave it there for the moment. Anas, thanks very much for those updates.